Let me tell you a story. It is a quiet one. It is one that most people never speak about because it is the kind of story, it's the kind of truth that hides underneath the life that you show the world. So there was a woman who wanted a beautiful life. She prayed for it. She worked for it and pretended she wasn't tired of waiting for it. And every morning, life was whispering to her, softly, gently, and in ways so subtle she almost missed them. Warm sunlight on her face when she opened the window, and the way the city just held its breath for one quiet second before waking up, and the softness in her chest when she remembered someone who once made her feel safe, and this tiniest spark of joy when she took her first sip of coffee. And life just kept offering her these small moments of love, but she couldn't take them in because her body wasn't ready. Her shoulders were always slightly raised, like she was preparing for something to go wrong any second, and her breath never fully reached down her belly, and her jaw held stories it never told, and her heart beat like someone who had learned to stay alert. She didn't reject life. She just didn't know how to let anything land. And every time something good came close, her body flinched. And not outwardly, but inside, like a tiny tightening, a supple withdrawal, and a quiet, familiar whisper that don't trust this. It won't stay. She wasn't broken. She was not ungrateful. She wasn't blocked. She was simply shaped by a life where safety had to be earned. And one day, she realized something that shook her to the core. Life wasn't withholding from her. She was withholding from life. She wasn't waiting for the good. She was guarding against it. Because somewhere, maybe long ago, her body learned that love disappears, that blessings have consequences, and that every smile comes with a price. And here's the part most people don't want to admit. This woman is you, is me, is almost everyone you know. We do not struggle to manifest. We struggle to receive. Not because we are unworthy, but because our nervous system hasn't felt what it feels like to relax in good things without waiting for the ground to disappear. So today, we're going to talk about what it really means to let life love you, not as an idea, but as a practice, as a physiology, and as a rewiring of the part of you that has only ever known how to survive. Because your life isn't waiting to bless you, it already is. You just need to learn how to open your hands to it. So we have a few steps to go through, and I'll go through everyone one by one, and I will start with nervous system bracing because how should I put this? Like, have you ever noticed how the moment something good happens, your body does this tiny, like, flinch? Like your shoulders rise just a half millimeter, or your breath gets a little shallow, or your mind goes, okay, but what is the catch here? That is not negativity. That is your nervous system doing its job. If you have spent years or decades living on high alert, your body only knows how to prepare for impact. So when life gives you softness, it feels dangerous. And when someone is steady, it feels unfamiliar. When a blessing arrives, your already bracing for it to disappear. And your body isn't trying to ruin your life. No, it is just trying to protect you from using data from 99. And let's go a little bit deeper, because I think this one will hit hard for many. It did for me. When you grow up without consistent emotional presence, your system learns a simple equation. Love equals unpredictability, support equals inconsistent, and safety equals temporary. And then you become an adult and you wonder why ease feels suspicious, like someone shows up for you. And your first instinct is, what do they want? When will this change? Is this real? And this all is not self-sabotage. This is the oldest part of you saying, I know how to survive disappointment, but I don't know how to relax into goodness. And now here's point that most people hate hearing, because it is the one that is kind of hardest to swallow. You cling to the struggle because it is who you have always been. If you think about it, if life suddenly became easy, if love came in very healthy, and if opportunities came without pushing, if blessings arrived without you fighting, who would you be? Most people are terrified of losing the identity that was built through suffering. But life isn't trying to take anything from you. It is trying to give you things you have never held. So you are not sabotaging your blessings, but your body is trying to protect you using outdated settings. You know, something I've learned is that receiving isn't mindset. It is a body. It is actually an animal state. Because whether or not you let life love you, that is something your body decides long before your mind catches up. You think about a cat. Think about a cat. You can't make a cat come to you. You can't manifest a cat into your lap with intention. You have to sit still long enough, soft enough, safe enough for the cat to decide that you are a place worth resting. That is receiving, not reaching, not gripping, but becoming the place where life wants to land. And the human body isn't different at all. When your vagus nerve softens, something very subtle but profound happens. Your breath shifts from your chest down into your belly, and your shoulders melt out of their armor, and your heart stops looking for danger and starts looking for possibility. And suddenly the world opens up a little, and life begins to approach you just the same way a wild animal would do. Not when you chase it, but when you quiet the noise enough for it to trust your presence. I felt this in my own life more times than I can count. And there's been so many seasons where I have been pushing, and trying to make things happen by sheer will, and trying to crack open the universe with strategy and with effort, and then nothing would move. And it didn't matter how perfect my routines were, how disciplined, how committed, how aligned I told myself I was. My body was in a subtle fight or flight. Everything inside me was bracing. And when you are bracing, life cannot get in. The door is locked from the inside, and the key is far, far, far away. But then there were the other moments, and the moments that almost felt supernatural, like the job offer, the opportunity, the person, the breakthrough, the clarity, and the I can't believe this is happening. And they all came in the same way after I had softened. Not after the breakthrough, not after a manifestation ritual, and not after another 5-step towards self-improvement, but after I unclenched my jaw. I released my shoulders, or I just let my belly expand again. When I tuned into my body, it was like life was waiting in the doorway and it was whispering, I'm here. But you have to stop fighting. You have to stop fighting the air around you so I can meet you. And the body always tells the truth. And the truth is that life meets you at the level your body can hold. If your breath is shallow, your blessings stay shallow. If your heart is armored, love stays at a distance. And if your fascia is tight, the world cannot enter. You receive in the same capacity that you soften. And sometimes I like to think about trees. They do not chase sunlight. They do not grab for it. What do? They open, they rise, and they stretch into it with effortless intelligence. And the sun meets them exactly where they are. Receiving is that. It is a surrender into your own design. It is a nervous system that no longer thinks it has to grip the world by the throat to be supported. Life loves you through sensations, through the deep inhale that doesn't hurt, and through the exhale that doesn't tremble, and through the body that is no longer begging for permission to rest. When you become a place where life can land gently, then life starts landing everywhere. You know, learning to let life love you isn't about dramatic rituals or perfect routines. It is about these tiny, almost invincible shifts that no one sees, but your body feels them immediately. It is the way, the way you wake up in the morning. It is the way you breathe when no one is watching you. It is the way you let yourself unclench just a little sooner than you usually would. So let me walk you through how to do this. And not as steps, but as a way of moving through a day that allows life to meet you halfway. So imagine waking up tomorrow and not rushing your body into the day. Before your mind jumps to your phone or your inbox or your to-do list, you let your body have the first word. Maybe that is a very slow fascia flow. Maybe it is a long exhale that drops your shoulders, or a soft, gentle stretch that says, I'm not bracing anymore. And that alone shifts your whole frequency. It tells your nervous system, we're safe today. We do not have to fight our way into the morning. And then, as you move through your day, I want you to start playing with micro moments of opening. And not dramatic changes, just 5% more softness. So if you feel your jaw tightening, soften it by 5%. If you feel your belly pulling in, let it expand by 5%. And if you feel your breath stuck in your chest, drop it down by 5%. Tiny openings, but they all will accumulate. They create a body that isn't armored against life anymore. And then there is this one. This one is just what changed a lot for me. It is letting yourself have what you desire now, not when you think you have quote unquote earned it. Buy the flowers, take the slower walk, cook the meal you have been fantasizing about, and wear the outfit you have saved for special days. If you just take those small acts of receiving, you will rewire your subconscious in real time, because the body learns good things aren't scarce. I don't have to struggle before I open, before I soften. So if you start with something, try that because it is so powerful. And then another thing, before you make any decision, and especially if you are going to make a big decision, like an emotionally charged one, I want you to pause for just 10 seconds, one breath, hand on your chest, and ask yourself, is my body opened or tight right now? Like, am I deciding from contraction? Because the truth here is that when your body is open, your life becomes open. Your choices shift, your standards shift, your frequency shifts, and your path shifts as well. But if you take a decision from contraction, you figure out kind of the opposite will happen. And then finally, gratitude. But not the kind you write in a journal because someone on TikTok said it would change your life. I mean gratitude as a somatic practice. For me, gratitude is quiet. I use it almost like a prayer without any words. So I sit down and I place my breath low and warm in my belly, and I place a hand on my heart. And instead of thinking what I am grateful for, I let my body feel it. So I let the softening happen, the warmth, the safety, and just bask in those sensations for a while. And that is the moment life starts loving you back. And not because you asked it to, but because you created a place. You created a place inside yourself where that goodness can land. These aren't even hacks and these aren't even routines. They are ways of being that tell life, I am available now. I'm not bracing anymore. I am ready to receive. And the more I sit with this, the more I realize life has never been withholding anything from you. Life has never been withholding the opportunities, not the love, not the ease, not the synchronicities, not the miracles. They weren't locked away from you. Your body just wasn't open enough to hold them. And when you hear that, really hear that, it is not a judgment. It is liberation. Receiving has never been about worthiness. It has always been about safety. And you can be the most deserving person in the entire world, but if your nervous system is bracing, tightening, expecting the words, or rehearsing pain before it happens, your body will reject everything good long before your mind even realizes what is happening. So let me offer you this truth. You are not waiting for your blessings. Your blessings are waiting for you to exhale. It is waiting for that soft drop off your shoulders. It is waiting for that unclench off your jaw. And it is waiting for that moment you stop controlling, bracing, rehearsing the fall, okay? And finally, let yourself be held by life. Because this is how it really works. When your inner child feels safe, you soften. When your fascia unravels, energy begins to move again. And when your breath deepens, your intuition finally leads instead of fear. And when your frequency becomes coherent, life responds instantly. That is not magic, it is physiology. It is energetics. It is the mechanics of allowing. Life has been trying to love you all along. It has been trying to love you through the people you ignored because they felt too kind. It has been trying to love you through the opportunities you didn't take because you doubted yourself, through the invitations you brushed off because you were scared to expand, and through the stillness you kept running from. through the softness you told yourself you didn't have time for. Life has been whispering, "Let me in." And your body has been whispering back, "I'm not ready yet." And that is okay. Because readiness isn't a personality trait. It is a nervous system state. So maybe today, for the first time, you give yourself permission to stop surviving, stop gripping, stop controlling, and let life love you a little. Just a little. 5% more softness, 5% more breath, 5% more openness. And watch how fast things will shift when you finally let yourself be loved by the world around you. So before we close today, I want to leave you with something that might surprise you. You don't have to earn the right to be supported. You don't have to work harder, heal faster, be more perfect, do more breath work, be more regulated, or finally get your life together before good things can happen. You just have to stop bracing for impact. That is it. Life doesn't need you to hustle for miracles. It just needs you to stop flinching when they arrive. And maybe, just maybe, this entire time, you weren't missing the signs. Maybe you weren't doing anything wrong. Maybe you weren't behind. Maybe you weren't blocked. You were simply holding your breath. So, consider this your full sacred permission, your full permission to inhale again, to soften again, to open again, not dramatically, not all at once, just enough, 5%, for life to slip through the cracks you have been trying to seal shut. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who also lives with that bracing in their body, send this episode to them. Let them soften too. We will speak again soon, and until then, stay aligned, stay curious, and most important of all, stay true to yourself.